One of the biggest misconceptions about sales training and why they almost always fail is that it's this one size fits all mentality. And one size doesn't fit anything. There aren't one size of helmets. There aren't one size of shoes. There aren't one size of dresses. There aren't one size of golf clubs. There aren't one size of bicycle seats. But apparently, there's just one magic sales methodology of training. That doesn't work. And especially when the sales training methodology predates the moon landing. You cannot just create a bunch of sales robots who go, when they say this, then you say that. And they say this, and you say that. That's not sales training. That's garbage. If you want people to be successful in sales, you have to train and coach them as individuals. If you want to have kids be successful in school, you have to train and coach them as individual students. All kids don't learn at the same pace. All kids don't learn at the same speed. All kids don't learn the same subject the same time. One child could be better at math and not so great at English. Same child could be really great at English and not so good at math. And so you have to understand there's individuality in training. It's not about one size fits all, everybody. One size doesn't fit all. One size fits none. And if you've heard me before, you know I'm abundantly against all of that, which is why we're so adamant about data-driven training and coaching, which is why sales DNA is so critical. Each individual salesperson has their own sales DNA, their strengths, their challenges, their weaknesses, the things that they're really good at, the things they could improve upon. But as a trainer and a coach and whatever you want to call us, how could we possibly help someone if we don't know what's wrong? And traditional sales training works like this. I'm a doctor, and every patient that comes within 3 square feet of me, I just give the same 2 aspirin to. You gonna ask me any questions, Doc? No. Are we gonna do any tests or anything? No, absolutely not. How about an MRI? My shoulder really hurts. No. We just give these same 2 aspirin to everybody. So just take these, that'll work. That doesn't work. You have to do MRIs, CAT scans, X-rays to find out what's wrong with people, what's causing their pain, before you can give recommendations to fix it. That is why what we do is much different. The sales DNA test is the MRI, is the X-ray. We then can see what the challenges are, the hindrances, the symptoms, and then with integrity, we can make recommendations for their physical therapy, for their training, to help them as individuals recover and live a healthy sales life. Yeah. Another assessment. Yes, we've heard of them before. There's a million of them. There's actually 2,500 assessments out there. But in fact, there are only 4% that are predictively valid, meaning can they back up the claims they make when they sold you the test? Is the data accurate? And the reason we use the sales DNA test is because it is predictively valid. It is one of the 4%. And we measure the 21 core competencies that make up the success or failure of a salesperson. And just a couple of them that are really critical to determine whether or not a salesperson has success. One is called the need to be liked. And the need to be liked, unfortunately, lives in 86% of salespeople. 8 out of 9, roughly, care what their prospects think about them. They need them to love and adore them. The problem is that if you're a salesperson who needs to be liked, you will do anything to earn the adoration of that prospect, which then leads to giving away the farm, discounting, signing bad deals, not walking away, being a poor negotiator, and of course, not challenging the prospects when they need it. The key to success in sales, the top 14% of women and men, they don't give a crap if their prospect likes them. They would rather be respected than liked. But the distinction is that they're still all likable. You still have to be likable in sales, but you can't care if people like you. Most companies have no idea what the cost is of not training their salespeople. And a lot of times they'll say, well, listen, if I train them and they leave, right, they're going to help my competitors. Well, it's actually worse if you don't train them and they stay. Think about what the cost would be if you run a restaurant and your executive chef isn't trained to cook. She doesn't know what she's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. What do you think the long-term cost to your restaurant is? Because it's not a couple of customers. And if you compound that interest of having a chef who is untrained, I cannot tell you how many millions will be siphoned down the drain. Think about that in terms of your sales team right now. How well trained are your salespeople? How well trained are your sales leaders, if you have one? How well trained are you at leading a team of salespeople? And if you're not, how much do you think that's costing you? Download a free sample of our sales team evaluation, which is sales DNA testing for an entire team. So you'll see salespeople, you'll see sales leaders, and this will give you an idea if this is something that can help you figure out exactly what your specific sales team needs when it comes to training and coaching. You can find it at thesalescollective.com. The link is in the description.